Hi, my name is Luke Bacigalupo with Federal Title, and today we're going to talk about the conventional financing addendum changes that were recently implemented by GCAAR. So you can see I have the conventional financing addendum up here. Really what has changed is in the paragraph 1 specified financing. So I'm going to walk you through kind of the common scenarios you're going to deal with and how you deal with this addendum moving forward. So you'll see there in the first deed of trust section here under specified financing, buyer will obtain a first deed of trust loan in the amount of blank percent of the sales price amortized over blank years at a fixed or adjustable rate not to exceed blank from one of the options below. So you have two options now on the addendum here. So you will either have a lender that issued the pre-approval as of the time of ratification for your buyers, or if your buyers have a pre-approval and are deciding to shop around, or if they do not have a pre-approval, they will select option B here that says a lender to whom buyer made or will make out written application within 7 days. So one of the big changes here is that this language under. So if option B is selected, buyer has 7 days from the date of ratification to make written application for financing with their lender of choice. So if the buyer chooses to make written application with a lender other than the one that issued the pre-approval letter, buyer must deliver a pre-approval letter from the new lender to the seller within 7 days after ratification. So what does this mean for you? Typically, when you are purchasing a house, you've sought financing, you have a pre-approval as a buyer. So if you decide now as a buyer that you would like to shop around for a lender, the buyer here must deliver a new pre-approval within 7 days, or this financing contingency is deemed as waived. They can also move forward with their existing pre-approval. In that scenario, you'll go ahead and check box A there, that the lender that issued the pre-approval letter. The other huge change here with the financing addendum is the terms of the specified mortgage here. So I want to be very clear about this point here at the bottom. Any change from any of the above constitutes alternate financing as defined below. So that means if your buyer obtains financing that does not meet the criteria that is written in this conventional financing agreement, meaning the deed of trust is in excess of the percentage of the sales price that was written in here. The term of the mortgage is longer than had been written in here. Say you wrote in 15 and it's a 30-year. Or if the interest rate, most notably here, it exceeds what is written in here, it does now specify that that constitutes alternate financing. So the buyer is no longer protected under the financing contingency. That's probably the biggest item of note here. So with rates changing like they are at the moment, the solution may be to go and put in a high rate here. Obviously, if you're trying to be competitive in your offer, it may give the listing agent or the seller pause here to see such a high figure in the percentage. But really what you're doing is trying to protect your client, your buyer here, and may be worth just a simple explanation as to the rationale why, because it's likely that listing agent is seeing this more and more often, and it's just a way here for a buyer to go ahead and protect themselves. So the biggest takeaways here are to ensure that the terms are not too restrictive. You don't want to have your buyer fall into an alternate financing category because the mortgage that they were able to secure does not meet the terms that were put into the conventional financing addendum here. And then really the second biggest thing here is to make sure that you are selecting A and B properly. If you are confident and your buyer has told you that they're moving forward with the pre-approval letter that they have prior to ratification, you should be going with A. B, you should be moving forward with if the buyer has a pre-approval and they're on the fence a bit, they think they can get a better rate, then you're going to go with B here. The buyer does have some time to shop here. They just need to either send the pre-approval from the existing lender that they're working with, or they need to send a new pre-approval with a different lender within these 7 days. Obviously, you got to ensure that even if they change lenders within those 7 days and send a new pre-approval, that it still meets the specified terms that are written into that first deed of trust line, ensuring that they are not falling into alternate financing, not because of a timely pre-approval, but because the terms of the new pre-approval do not meet the specified terms in the contract. So a lot to go through there with the financing addendum. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to any of us here at Federal Title. Easy one. It's just attorneys@federaltitle.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks.